time to do the Thursday crossword on January 22nd, 2026. This one is by Joe DiPietro. He has a familiar name in crossword construction, particularly with the theme puzzles, I believe. Or I think I might remember he actually quite good with both themed and themeless puzzles, so it's nice to have a very versatile constructor making this puzzle. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Let's begin. A purchase of ice cream or cream ale. So I think this is a pint because these are all common measurements of each of these things. Now, a goddess depicted with cow horns. So I also haven't identified which sort of pantheon this is within, like what kind of religion this is for. I'm just gonna take a look at other things. Um, Am I wrong about that? I think this might be is it not. It says very common letters, so I'm happy with that right now. Please, I know better than that. Know something. You know better than that. Some very nice parallelism here. All of these are phrases and they all mean very similar things. That's kind of a nice find. A watch sound. I think it might be a tick on a watch. Tools requiring two people. So it's a plural. ST. Okay, well, this is sty. So it's sort of referring to like a pig pen. And also, typically in puzzles, you might see this referred to like as a teenager's bedroom, sort of figuratively. They do refer to it as a sty. Then what is this? Actually, I think this is nice try. Sort of when you're onto someone's trick, you would say nice try. You know better than that. Um, to to shame? Well, what is this? Blank SI something. Let's take a look and see if this is actually right. Um, Anxious is antsy. All right, I'm pretty sure that I'm confident with these answers. Tackling the task at hand. Um, Focusing on the problem. Tools requiring two people. Um, Not sure. Let's take a look at this. Like a run that sends the game into extra innings, say. Tying. Um, I think this is specific to baseball, but yeah, it is tying. So sotto voce, this is like a musical direction, meaning like a subdued voice, like in a low voice. So it sort of means quiet, but in a sort of whispery way. Cognac label letters, I think it's VSOP. I don't know what it stands for. Supporting flats, say. Sporting flats, say. Um, what is a flat? Well, I mean, a flat is like the British word for apartment, but a flat, I suppose, could also be a kind of shoe. So, sporting flats. Well, this might be referring to the shoe itself, or might be describing someone that is wearing like a adjective meaning wearing flats. Um, my guess says this is an ed for left in, so sporting flats is a shoed. Then that doesn't work. But maybe it's part of the theme because Thursdays sometimes you would have rebuses where you have multiple letters in one square. But I'm just gonna take a look at everything else. I think omega in physics is ohm. It's just a unit for resistance. So it could be ohms. Look who's here. Hey, look who's here. Oh, hi, maybe? Sporting flats? Is it shod? I'm. It's shoed, right? I don't actually understand what's happening here yet, but I think it'll become clear soon. Like the theme definitely has to do with these shaded letters also. I'm gonna see what else there is. So the fill in the blank here, that's what I'm talking about. Not what I'm talking about. I don't know. Mixed, I think checks mix. Then to put away is to axe. Mark successor. Is this biblical or it could be like the currency before the German mark? French word before between two surnames. Then this is ne, which is used, which precedes a maiden name. Something to drum, leading to drum. I think a velodrome. That's the sort of arena for race, for cycling. Then Mark's successor. This looks like this might be a name. I don't remember what it is yet. Minor snafu. Sort of a tiny screw up. Let's see what this is. Activist was 1963. This could be MLK because I was around that time. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Seth of Apple TV's Platonic. I think it's Seth Rogen. And Rescue Squad Pro. EMT, perhaps. Honorific title. Probably a dame. With an M in the third position. Sweeping. Vast, maybe? Vast changes, sweeping changes. I think this was Everly Brothers. I'm just remembering from previous puzzles, but I think it might be that. Let's take a look. Country whose 7-letter name can be spelled using only one letter tiles. This is Eritrea. I'm guessing it ends in an A. Sort of IA or EA, but I sort of came upon this. Eritrea could work. Mark's successor. I still don't see how. I don't know what that could be. It could be a euro. Then, because it did succeed the mark. Put away was. That doesn't look right. None of these look right. Well, I'm gonna check this. Pestering type. Pestering type, some kind of like a bother. Maybe. Something what I'm talking about. Well, this should be somewhat conversational because there's a lot of abbreviations here. So it might be like a folksy-ish way to say something. An oversupply. An oversupply is a glut. I'm not. So something doesn't really add up here. It could be bother, a pestering type. Let's take a look at what these are. The New York Islanders in the 1980s. The New York Islanders. Is this a team of some sort? That may be like a minor league team that I haven't heard of. Loved every second. Well, I mean, this is ate it up. So, oh, maybe it's not Eritrea. Oh, it's Austria. Then what is this? Mark's successor. Who is Mark? Is this like a disciple or something? Let's take a look at something else. Ah, this might be this is the puzzle's theme. Okay. They tell you when to stop and go. Red, green light. Stopping light. Let's take a look at this. The okay. The nod. Escapade is an antic. Okay. Film without much wardrobe. Porno. A trig ratio is cosine or cosec. It's not cosine because cosine, if spelled out like that, it would be INE at the end. So it's not the right number of letters, but cosec is actually like a acceptable abbreviation for cosecant. So what is this? Late age? Maybe like referring to someone's late career. Bees but not birds. Insects. Well, that's not it. Then late fee. Right, late fee. Okay. Traffic signals. Okay, well then this is also not Austria. This is a bit annoying because there are actually quite a lot of countries. There's so many countries that can be spelled with only 1 point Scrabble tiles. Like for example, like Tunisia, Eritrea, Austria. Then what is this? Something else with an NAA. Estonia also could work. So if it's Estonia, then this could be Euro. Then to put away could be not sure. Not sure yet. I'm guessing this is that's what I'm talking about because it's meant to appear somewhat conversational or like in a way not properly spelled. So I'm guessing that might be what it is. Okay, the New York Islanders in the 1980s might be a dynasty. I'm guessing this is like some kind of maybe political dynasty, like a sort of close-knit group of people. And this is a spy to catch a glimpse of. This is also the name for the sports award that's offered by ESPN. They call it the ESPYs. The pestering type is I'm not sure what that is. I'll come back to it. Okay, legal setting is court, and 37 down order is all rise. Right, and then this is typically sometimes you might see this clued, for example, as court order question mark, because court order is like a bit different than the actual order that you might get in the court to rise when the judge comes. Rouse was woken up. Furious feeling is ire. You might be irate, you have ire. So standard is usual. And then full of energy is peppy. Then a minor snafu is a mix up. So it's like, yeah, it's a tiny screw up. Striking through, Xing. Oh, okay. Okay, let me just fill this in because now I understand what's going on here. This is a traffic signal, and these are both red and green as signaled by the shaded letters. And so I suppose what you're supposed to do is maybe switch things up a little bit. So this is, at least this spells out green here, but Xing out, Xing, striking through is Xing out. Oh, because, oh, okay, because green, you're just supposed to imagine this just is go. Um, so when you interpret this, you want to read it as go. So Xingout spells Xing out. So that's how this works. So put away is stow. You might stow something away. Then what is this? Something mix? Chow mix? Lead into drone is an aerodrome. Some other kind of arena, maybe for what is an aerodrome? For flying. Oh, just like a maybe for planes. Then what is this? Meow mix? Okay, maybe that's a brand of cat food. Increase one's intensity is to go full steam, or something. Increase one's to gains steam to grow. It's some. It's the conjugation should not have an s at the end, so it can't be gains steam. But I'll take a look at this. Then result of missing the boat is a lost opportunity. So this is LOSTOP. This is stop. So lost opportunity. Let's take a look at all these other themers first. Happens is comes to pass, and that's happened. So this becomes stop. Then this is go. So tackling the task at hand is stepping on it. Let's take a look at this. Something on it. What is this? Tackling the task at hand. What would I normally say? You're going at it. You're hopping to it. I'll come back to it. I'm sure it's something like that. Okay. Unceasingly, without end. You might no stop. I don't know. Okay, this is a French word for nom de plume. It's a pen name. Band with the 2008 electric field. Part of me thinks that this is not tying. I don't know what else it would be. Like a run that senses a tying run. Maybe that's what people say. I'm gonna put it back. I don't know what else it would be. A buffet table item. A buffet table item. What would you typically have at a buffet at the table waiting for you? Let's take a look at what this is. Approximately 84% of American women have at least one pierced ear. Kick butt, so to speak. If you kick butt, vowel consonant, something. Ingredient in a zombie. So a zombie, I'm guessing this is like a drink. Because I know drinks just typically have weird names. So that's probably rum. Early ancestor is an ape man. So this is sort of the... Well, it's now been like debunked scientifically, I suppose. But I guess like sort of traditionally, people might think of like ape man as the connection, the missing link between ape and man. But then it was real. But then people discovered that apes and men actually had like a common ancestor, because I think ape man was used to describe like the sort of hidden species between modern apes and modern man. But we know now that apes are also evolved and men are evolved from the same ancestor. So this is kind of, well, maybe ape man actually in this case refers to that common ancestor. So to kick butt, you might rule, like something rules, something kicks butt. Francis Cop, whatever's alma mater is UCLA, I'm guessing. Then a buffet table item is an urn. I don't know why they would have a urn at the table, but sure. I mean, it is kind of like a tableware thing. No end unceasingly. Then get up steam. What is this? G something something P. I'll take a look at it. To turn to mush might be to rot. Then prefix meaning heavens, as the name of a planet suggests. So it should be related to one of the planets. I'm guessing this is Uranus, so it's Urano. And then channel with the longtime slogan, we know drama. TNT, to cut in is to etch in. Hard pass is nah. Then this is ACs, yeah, hotel room coolers. Then what is this? Get up steam. Then what is this? I this is the sort of abbreviation for management, which is kind of uncommon, but what is this? Flabbergasted feeling is mare. Awe. Then this is mare. Um, I don't really know what this is, but this could be right. Something of the sea. Mal, like ill. It's mal is sort of like something bad. It literally means bad. So I don't know what exactly this is, but I'll come back to it if I need to change it. But I think it's right. Left in was steaded. So I'm guessing it's steaded because stet is a word that an editor might use on an article to mean like actually like leave this part in. So stet is sort of a note from the editor. Then you know better than that. Okay, it's sort of like I don't know how you would pronounce this. I mean, I hear people like sort of humorously call this like tisk tisk, but I think it's more like a kind of sound. Then what is this? A goddess depicted with cow's horns as Isis, so it's Egyptian. Then what is this? Pit saws? And then this is working at it. I should have thought of that before. They're uh, yeah, working on it. Yeah, tackling the task at hand. I'm working on it. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but that's nice. So here the theme revealer is sort of in an unusual spot, and I suppose if I wanted to solve this a bit quicker, I could have um, tried to search for this sooner. Because once you get this, then all of these ones, these shaded squares, they kind of fall into place. So I think for a Thursday, this was rather straightforward. Um, Typically, um, you might not get this much help if it were a difficult themed puzzle, and Thursdays are always the most difficult themed puzzles. So in this case, I think it was quite kind. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think this also takes into account the fact that there were quite some challenging words here. Like there's um, some unusual words here, like Urano, which to be fair, they did give us um, a hint with the name of a planet similarity, but I did not know management or MGMT here. And I don't think I would have gotten this just with this clue, although I might have been able to guess the fact that this was a French word. In this case, I know this is French because it means sea. All right, nice. So any of clues that I think were interesting or anything that caught my eye? There were not too many question mark clues in this, which surprises me. Maybe part of me thinks that like a puzzle should have maybe one or two, but maybe I'm too used to solving themeless puzzles. Like at some point during the summer, I just went on a marathon. I just did a bunch of them over the last few years, going back to the archives. That maybe I misremembered how many question mark clues there really should be in a themed puzzle. Um, but there definitely were a few that caught me off guard. Like this one definitely, Meow Mix. I didn't really, well, I did put checks here, and I suppose that I had sort of concerns about that not being right. Certainly because I think there were some weird letters, right? So if this was checks, then this would have to been an X, and I don't think this. I could think of any word meaning put away that ends in an X. There aren't too many words that end in X's actually. Um, and this one, Mark's successor. I actually had thought about mark as the currency, but um, I actually, funnily, the first time I read this, I accidentally thought of, oh, well, I need to think of something before the mark. I forgot that successor actually meant after. So I was sort of thrown off because I could only remember that the mark was before the euro, but I couldn't find of anything that was before the mark. And so that led me to abandon that way of thinking for a while. But maybe I should have come back to it. Estonia is sort of a clue that I'm a bit disappointed, I'll be honest, with. Of all the clues that were in here, I think Estonia was one that kind of frustrated me because um, when you really think about all the seven-letter names, well, of course, I don't think you even need to have this specification because this is, of course, just a seven-letter name, is seven letters, and spelled using only 1 point Scrabble tiles. So the 1 point Scrabble tiles are the ones that show up the most commonly in English. They were created because the inventor of Scrabble just tallied up a bunch of letters that he saw in newspapers. So he just counted up all the letters in a certain article or multiple articles and just averaged them out so he could get a rough distribution of the commonness. And then the most common tiles were given the lowest point values. And Estonia, I mean, I've already gone over a few of the answers that I thought could have been. So Estonia is one of them. Eritrea is another, and then I'm sure there are some others that I'm not thinking of. Austria was one that I thought of as well. A lot of countries that end in IA, for instance, or start with an A, end in an A. Maybe those might be the only ones. I mean, there certainly might be another one that I haven't thought of. But actually, here's sort of a fun fact. I learned of this with the when I met someone from Finland. It's a fun fact about Estonia, but Estonia and Finland actually have the same national anthem with different words. But it was because it was composed by the same person, first for Finland, but then I suppose at some point he made a business arrangement with someone from the Estonian government, and so it just turns out, unbeknownst to both countries at the time, that Estonia and Finland would turn out to be the same national anthem. And the way this friend described it to me was like, well, you know, people might know him for being somewhat of a good composer, but I know him more for being actually quite a good businessman. So that's sort of a thing that, I mean, it is, I would say, kind of a fun fact. And it would be nice, if either the constructor or the editors knew that fact. It might be a sort of worthwhile thing to put as the clue instead, because it is kind of a fun fact, I think. I'm not really sure what else you would do that with that information, but there it is. So, that's um, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. I don't think I would say it like that, or I don't think I would spell it like that. But oh, I didn't even notice this. A nooge. A pestering type is a nooge. That's a fun word. I mean, I think all of the kind of words that are sort of slightly derogatory all just look and sound a little bit weird. Um, like you get like oaf for like a sort of bumbling idiot. You might get like a chump for someone that's like easily taken advantage of. So I guess like all of these sort of strange, funny sounding words, like a nooge, might be also used as an insult, which makes sense. All right, yeah. All things considered, this was a fair puzzle. Um, Again, like I said, I am also at this point enjoying just sort of taking my time with looking at all of these uh clues. So maybe I could have maybe picked up the pace a little bit, but I think it was fun. I did enjoy this one. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Nice one.